Everybody, it's DrSamRobbins, and today I'm going to talk about exercise and how I think it's the greatest thing you can ever do for your health. I'll talk about my dad, I'll talk about myself, I'll even talk about how Dr. Peter Attia said exercise is by far the most potent drug and how it can not only delay actual death, but also prevent cognition and physical decline better than any drug, better than even nutrition and exercise, and of course, supplements.
What we know is exercise is the single biggest elixir for brain health. And it's amazing how much more powerful it appears to be than nutrition, even sleep. And those things are very important, but exercise is in a league of its own.
And I mention this because I didn't work out for 2 weeks. I had a herniated disc, everything was bad, and it's something I've had to deal with for 13, 14 years. So I didn't work out for a week to let it heal, and then I had to go on a trip and all this stuff, and I took it really easy, and luckily the pain has subsided. But during that time, I noticed how I was just not working out. I was just tired and like lethargic. My sleep wasn't good. I had even lower sex drive. I was hungry, but for all the wrong foods, like comfort foods and carbs and other junk. I was not as happy. I was not as driven. I even had brain fog, and basically I felt blah, like for those 2 weeks. Obviously the first 2-3 days you feel kind of good, you're getting a little bit more relaxed and you're recovering, which is good. But I even remember Arnold saying how he had a friend, Dave Draper, that he was Dave Draper, he worked out with them back in the old days, and he was kind of relaxed, going to the gym and didn't really talk to anyone. After a couple hours of working out, he left the gym happy and excited, was like, hey, what's going on, everybody? And he said how it completely changed his mood. And I've noticed that the days I don't work out, I'm just not as happy. And worst case scenario, I'm kind of just dragging throughout the day. That's why I try to do my best to exercise every single day with weights. Definitely I wake up every morning, I take a walk. In fact, I take 2, 3, sometimes 4 walks a day. And yes, it's because I have my little puppy that I walk, so we do that. But you get the sun in the day, you get moving, and everything is better when you exercise. And even my dad, who recently passed away at 90 plus, he exercised his entire life, okay, with weights all the time. He walked all the time. And yes, he ate well, but guess what? His dad had died in his, I think, late 60s, my granddad. So it just goes to show you, you can't say, hey, it's just genetics. That he lived, 90s, he had, everything was fine. He just old age. And exercise, I know, had a big part to do with it. In those last few years, he didn't exercise as much because he had problems and all this stuff. And I saw everything decline with him quickly, including his cognition, his brain. He couldn't sleep as well, and everything fell apart. And one of the greatest benefits, and I think you have to lift weights or build muscle. Muscle is an organ. It's an anti-aging organ. When somebody dies, other than a heart attack or stroke, which is instant, you see someone typically die when they've lost a ton of weight, right? They look quote unquote anorexic, like, they just got out of like Holocaust camp, they're just skin and bones. And that's your body after a certain amount of muscle loss, your body just shuts off. This is why even with AIDS patients, they give them steroids and growth hormone to gain a ton of muscle, because if they get an infection or something, they'll lose 20 or 30 pounds. And that 20 or 30 pounds is cushion of muscle. Had they not had that additional 20 or 30 pounds, when they lose it, if they didn't have it, then they would lose too much. And again, too much muscle loss, you'll die. When you're older, when someone falls, breaking a hip or something, 50% of them die within that first year. Why? Because, surgery and all these other things. But ultimately, it's, why did they fall in the first place? Because they didn't have muscle to react quickly. And they didn't have muscle to prevent them from falling. And this becomes an issue. A muscle is an organ, as I stated. So what does that mean? When you exercise, obviously, it's the greatest blood sugar, glucose disposal agent you can have. The more carbs you can have, the better your blood sugar, the better insulin sensitivity, and better your inflammation. All these things are all linked to early death, cognition problems, and physical and health problems. When you exercise, your blood pressure is better, your cholesterol levels are better. Basically, all the food that you consume gets utilized. That's one reason kids are in better shape, because they're always running around, okay? We don't do that, where most of us are just sitting all day doing nothing. So at the very least, you gotta walk, but lifting weights, and I've got an entire course for that. It's all free, and I'll give you the link to that in a little bit, on the bare minimum you can do to exercise, what to do, what not to do, how to gain muscle. It doesn't matter you're male or female. And ultimately, the muscle growth you have is genetic based and hormone based. But, you know, people, for example, also don't realize that when you exercise, you sleep much better. Sometimes you need less sleep, which is great, but you have deeper, more restorative sleep. You have, REM sleep is better. You have better production of growth hormone because of that. So some of us who don't sleep, then like when I wasn't working out very much, I sometimes was sleeping more, but I felt tired all day, right? And the minute I started working out, my sleep was better, but it was less. And y'all know that better sleep improves everything. Why? Because of hormones and just everything in your body. It's, it's cleansing its system. Also, better muscle and working out means better joint health, better bone strength, faster metabolism. Also, you have better appetite control, right? So I remember the minute I started working out, my decrease for carbs was less. The cravings for carbs was less. Ultimately, working out, more muscle leads to better health, but most importantly, more confidence, okay? Look, when you feel better, when you look better, you feel better, all right? And then you do better. When you have more muscle, you feel sexier, not just to yourself, how you look in clothes, how you perform, everything is better. I've never met anyone who said, oh, I wish I had less muscle, all right? I wish I had more body fat. So take this for what I'm gonna tell you. Exercise is the greatest thing you can do. It's better than anything else. As Dr. Peter Attia said, it's better than improving most health problems by 50% in one of his interviews, and it's better than any drug has ever done, okay? So exercise, make it a priority. Start off little and then build up, and I've got an entire email course. Again, it's all for free, okay? You don't have to worry about it, but ultimately you have to make it a priority, okay? It's just like everything in life, a priority. Start small. I'm not telling you to go work out 6 days a week and get burned out. I had a business partner of mine who's like, I'm gonna start working out and I'm gonna go every day. I'm like, dude, you're gonna burn out. 3 months later, he stopped working out completely. Build up. You don't even need much. That's the best part. When you first start, you don't need much. Just twice a week will make dramatic improvements. You'll gain motivation. You'll start seeing progress. And then you go from there and build up and build up. And within a few months to a year or two, you're going to be like part of your daily ritual. The day you don't do it is the day you're going to miss it. So once again, start exercising. There should be a link below in the video right here on how you can, the whole workout program. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. Doesn't matter if you're 20 or you're 80. We all are the same human body. Muscle growth responds the same. I'll tell you how much protein, the carbs, and all that stuff. You don't even need a gym. You can do anything at home. You can do your body weight. The point is to exercise daily, at least 20 or 30 minutes, and we build up to it, and to improve your muscle strength and muscle mass. I hope this was helpful. Take a look at the link below and let me know the comments if you have any questions. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Wishing you a very happy and healthy day.